Hello, hello.
Hi, sorry, I'm having my lunch and I'm sat in
You
the
carry
kitchen.
on. Kind of do it at lunchtime on purpose, actually, because some people are actually working, or it's a good time to like sit and have your sandwich whilst you're listening in. So
Yeah,
it works really well. Just letting people in at the moment, so just waiting.
yeah.
Thanks for those of you turning up live. Always get so much more from it, I think, when you turn up live. But I'm grateful to those of you watching on replay too. Has everyone else got sunshine today, or is it just me?
It's actually quite a nice day here.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too.
We've had sun, but it's just gone extremely windy and the cloud and everything. It's not great.
Um,
Yeah.
it's windy actually, looking at the door. Anyway, well, I'm going to get started. I'll keep letting people in as they turn up. But thanks everyone for turning up. I'd like to introduce my lovely friend Sam, who's going to come to talk to us today about well, offering social media as a string to your bow as a virtual assistant. I'm going to let Sam introduce herself. I'm sure she's got slides about all of this and what she's going to be talking to us about. Yeah, without further ado, I think I'll hand over to you, Sam, if that's okay.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Right. Okay. Just bear with me a second while I just make sure that I've got everything I need and everything is set up. And we've got if you could see behind the scenes here, it's just I've got lights everywhere, everything. So yeah, just right. Let's get going. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. I think that's the right one. Perfect. Okay. So, hi guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to kind of be here and listen to me. So, as Paula said, I'm going to show you everything you need to basically build in social media into your business, and it's an extra kind of string to your bow, and also kind of make you stand out from other VAs as well. So I'm going to share a little bit of a presentation with you. I tend not to do death by PowerPoint, but I do know that some people are more visual and some people are more audio. So I do like to have slides, and plus it keeps me on track as well. So I'm Sam. Most people call me Samantha or Sam. I don't mind, but majority of people call me Sam. The reason why I use Samantha is because I've been working for a very long time, and in the corporate world, when I used to turn up to meetings and I used to call myself Sam, people would get a shock because they think they were meeting a bloke rather than a female. So I just stick with Samantha on all my socials. The only person that calls me Samantha is my dad. Everyone else calls me Sam. So who am I? I'm an award-winning social media expert. I'm a social media psychologist and strategist. I know it sounds quite, oh, what's a social media psychologist? It's basically, I just teach the psychology behind social media to actually make sure that you're actually getting a better grip of it rather than just posting content for the sake of posting content. I have a very successful social media marketing and digital agency, hence why I can share this knowledge with you, because I've made all the mistakes and I want to make sure that people that are thinking about going into the social media industry, that they're not going to be doing the same thing. I also have over 30 years of sales experience and business development. I'm a certified business strategist. I also have an accredited certified academy, social media academy. I'm a #1 best-selling author and have a #1 best-selling book. I've got 5 children. I'm married to my husband, Rich. I love traveling. If you follow me on my socials, you will see that I'm always on holiday. I'm also a paddleboarder, but a little bit of a fact, I can't swim and I hate water, but I love paddleboarding. And you might be thinking, how on earth can someone that can't swim and hates water love paddleboarding? I've never fallen in. And if I ever do, I wear a preserve anyway, so I'm all good. And I love singing, but I'm not here to sing for you today. I'm here to basically show you how you can add social media to your business and just understand the fundamentals and how you can make it successful. So what gives me the credentials to actually share this with you? So I want to share a little bit about my backstory. So I worked in corporate for a very, very long time. And then we've got 5 children. Our youngest are 12 and 13. And when our 12-year-old was born, I was made redundant. I'd been working for RBS for many, many years. I got a very nice redundancy package, and having 2 children, basically under the age of 1, plus 3 older ones, I was like, give me the redundancy. I'm going to be a stay-at-home mum. It was very, very short-lived because I soon got bored. I got bored kind of being that stay-at-home mum, doing everything that a stay-at-home mum does. I didn't really like the going to play groups and just chatting to mums about nappies. I wanted something more. So I needed to find something that would work in around the 5 children. So a friend of mine said, why don't you become a childminder? People are screaming out for childminders where we live. I reckon you would only need a couple of children, it'd keep you busy, but it would also give you a little bit of money, because at the same time I'd always been independent, but I had no money coming in because I wasn't working. I was reliant on my husband. So I trained to be a qualified childminder. I'm actually at a level where I could go into a school now and become a TA if I wanted to, but I didn't want to go down that route. But because I was quite used to using social media, I actually had a little business on the side where I sold baby products as well, clothing. And I've been using social media to grow that. So I used my social media to help me grow my child minding business. And within 3 months of opening, I had 48 children on my books. I had 2 staff working for me, and my downstairs, well, basically my house became a nursery. We converted the whole of the downstairs. We converted one of our garages. We put an extension on. We converted the dining room for the older children. And then my landing's massive. I had 4 changing stations there where I could change bums and things like that. And then one of our top bedrooms became a sleeping station. So we had 8 cots, travel cots in there for little ones as well. So it was a real good enterprise. And at one point we were buying a nursery, but it never got to that. The reason being is because I had burnout, wasn't spending the time with my own children, had no holidays, which was unheard of. And I just didn't like it, but I needed to find something else. At this point, I'd been introduced to network marketing, kind of had some real good success with it. And the reason why I had really good success was because I implemented the social media into growing my network marketing business. Now, 10 years ago, this was unheard of in network marketing. It was unheard of within businesses to use social media. So I had a lot of network marketers come to me saying, Sam, how have you built where you are today? How are you earning this money through network marketing in such a short space of time with having 5 kids? My answer was, I built everything on social media through Facebook ads, the whole lot. So I started training them how to do it. And then I had other network marketing companies come to me, Avon, doTERRA, Beachbody, Mary Kay, and their head office saying, how are you doing this? We need to teach our guys. So I then became a freelancer and training those. Unfortunately, what happened was the networking marketing company I was with heard about this. Head office actually knew what I was doing. I told them out of kindness and being courteous. Unfortunately, the big people at the top that earn all the money, you know, the top of the pyramid, they didn't like it because they saw that I was teaching other companies things that they needed to be taught, but yet they didn't want me to teach our company how to do it. They wanted everything done the traditional way. So I left the network marketing and I started training and doing more social media training for more companies. I then decided to go back into networking, something that I did on a regular basis when I was in the corporate world. And I'd built up quite a good networking kind of organization and connections through my my child minding and my network marketing business. And people kept saying to me, oh, what are you doing now, Sam? And I told them, and they were like, oh, do you do social media management? And I was like, well, I do my own. So yeah, I can do it for other people. So this was in the September, by the Christmas, I had 30 clients where I was doing social media management for them. But I was charging very, very little. I was working long hours. I was networking heavily and I was earning very, very little. I made lots of mistakes. I had burnout. And then we went away over the Christmas period and I was like, do you know what? Something needs to change. I can't go back into January working these long hours. This isn't the whole point of working for myself. So I put strategies in place. Unfortunately, when I started my social media business, there wasn't someone there that said, do this, charge this, you need to do it this way. This is how you find your clients. I had to do everything myself. But because I realized that I'd made those mistakes very, very quickly, and then I started turning things around, I reduced my 30 clients down to 10 clients. I was earning more money with my 10 clients than what I was with my 30 clients. And then I had other social media managers coming to me saying, how are you doing this, Sam? How are you running a successful business? Because I've been doing this for, quite a few years and it's just not happening. So that's when I started offering one-to-one mentoring with social media specialists and managers. And it was great. It was a great success. I had about 5 or 6 at the same time. They were paying me around £5,000 for 3 months kind of mentoring and coaching them, which was absolutely brilliant because I had my social media management that I could do at any time. And then I had my coaching and my training as well. So I was actually starting to grow a really, really good, big business that was bringing me in good money, making me good profit, because we always need to make sure we're making good profit. It's not about the turnover, it's about the profit. Then, unfortunately, the big C happened, COVID hit. And honestly, that morning when we were told we were going into lockdown, I put my head in my hands, looked on my wall, looked at all of my 10 clients, because I never took on any more than 10 clients, and just thought, they're not going to be able to trade. They're not going to be able to work. They're going to have to shut down. They're going to have to, where the hell is my business going to go? And actually, my business went from here to here because every single business decided, oh my God, we need to be online. We don't know how to be online. How are we going to change our business to be online? So I all of a sudden got very, very busy. Out of the 10 clients that I had, only 2 of them decided to actually pull their social media for the time being because the others knew that they could change their business, and I helped them change their business to go online because that's what I had done. I'd created an online business from scratch and I could help them do the same as well. Then as COVID came through, I then realized that I actually couldn't do the one-to-one coaching anymore. I was getting more busy. My time was being used. So this is when I created the Academy, more of a many-to-many program. So it meant that actually I could work with at least 10 to 12 people all in one go over a 3-month period. So I basically converted the one-to-one program into a many-to-many program, and it worked. It ticked all the boxes. It was doing really, really well. Everybody was loving it. We were having people coming through, starting their own businesses. I absolutely loved it. And then unfortunately, tragedy struck and my son became very, very poorly. Poorly to the fact that I had to become his full-time carer. I had to take 18 months out of my business where I literally couldn't work because my son slept all night, all day, and was awake at night. So I had to sleep during the day and I had to be awake at night as well. So I had to change the way that I was working. And this is where my business changed dramatically. Now, when I was doing the Academy, one person that came through it was my sister. Never been on social media, hated social media, but wanted a career change. So she joined my Academy. She became a social media specialist. And I said to her, I need your help. In order for me to keep my business going while I'm taking a back step, I still need that financial income coming in, but I need your help to help me keep this afloat so that when Bo does become better, whenever that is, I have a business to come back to. So she took over all my social media management clients, which was perfect. But I also had a plan B. I had a training in place that people were buying. So I had a nice little income come in. 18 months later, Bo was back to his normal self. He was back in school. And in September 2022, I came back into my business. Very lost, I have to say. Unfortunately, what happened was everybody that was on social media that had kind of over COVID had all of a sudden become social media experts, social media specialists. And with me doing it for so long, I felt a little bit like a dinosaur. I didn't feel that I really fitted. So from the September to the March, I was lost. I didn't know what I wanted to do. But when I got to March, it was like, this has clicked. I know exactly where I need to be. I had people telling me, Sam, you need to get back on this game because people are missing you. You know exactly what you're doing. I've been working with this person. They don't really know what you know. So you need to get back in. I just needed that confidence. And that's what I did. I came back. Now, just to give you an idea of why I share with you about the importance of having a really good, strong social media presence. And this is why every business should have this, and also a plan B for when things like this do happen. In the year where I was off, my business basically earned me 23 grand. Last year, from March to the end of the year, my business earned 128,000. And this year we're on target for 250 to 300. And that's not me to be big-headed or kind of go, oh, wow, Sam's amazing for earning all that money. It's just to show you what you can actually achieve in your business from having that social media element in your business as well. And that's what I want to share with you as well. So last year, my academy became an accredited program. And now it is a self-study where more and more people can come through it as well. And we're also introducing a foundation. So how can you do this? So we're going to be covering everything that you need to know so that you can then start thinking about, actually, how do I offer social media management to my clients? How do I do it without making all of these mistakes? How do I do it so that I'm not going to fall flat on my face? I'm not going to have all of these problems. So I'm going to share with you here. So we're going to look at why social media management can be lucrative. We're going to look at the skills that you need that are essential, step-by-step guides as well. Looking at your pricing structure, because that's really, really important. Look at the tools and resources that you're going to need. And then any questions from there. Okay, so for any business that is online or really running, social media is a necessity, not a luxury. And more businesses actually see that. But unfortunately, businesses are really scared of social media. They kind of go, oh, do you know what? I know we need to be on social media, but I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. I don't have the time. Or actually, it's just not something I want to do. You'll be amazed at how many businesses we actually look after through our agency that actually have no social media coverage themselves, just their businesses do. They don't even have a Facebook or an Instagram. So businesses are really scared to be on social media. So we offer that step that we can step in and basically say, right, this is great. We can, we can get people on board, and we can make sure that everybody is getting the service that they need. And you're the expert, you become the expert and stand out. So by upskilling to offering social media management or social media service, it can actually boost your income. But the other thing is as well, when I speak to so many VAs and VAs that have kind of worked with me in the past, one of the things that they're really scared of, yes, they want, their clients are asking them for social media management, but they just don't have the confidence because they're not sure. Yeah, they know how to create a post. They know how to create a lovely graphic on Canva, but they're not actually sure about the fundamentals. What is changing? And social media is changing every single day. And this is one of the things that I'm very open about, that every single day I'm reading blogs, I'm watching videos. I can spend 3 hours a day going through all this research, depending on how busy the social media world is. And then I relay it back to everybody that I have worked with, have come through the academy, because we have our own little community group. Because I want to make sure that they are still, even though they've come through my academy, I want to make sure that they are still offering the best service. And I want to make sure that I'm giving them all that information and telling them what is changing and what's happening as well. So this is one of the things, it's making sure you've got the confidence to do this as well. So if you know what you're doing, you have the confidence to offer this service to your clients, then you have the confidence to actually charge more for your clients as well. Because on average, I know VAs will charge anything from £25 to £35 on average. If you charge more, that's fantastic. If you charge less, please think about increasing your costs as your hourly rate. But with being social media management, you can charge a minimum of £50 an hour because you are offering a skill. Okay, so I want to show you how you can basically bring this skill on and have that confidence as well. So we know it's high demand. Businesses all the time. And to be honest with you, you only need 10 clients. If you then want to grow your own team, like I have, so I have 8 in my team, and on average, they'll look after anything from 3 to 5 clients, because I want everybody that is in my team, yes, they've come through my academy, they've done all my training, they know exactly what they're doing, but every single person in my team is a mum, and they are a mum with a child with special needs, or they have special needs themselves. So most of them are neurodiverse. So one of the things that I don't do with any of my team is I say to them, right, you do not look after any more than 5 clients, because it's about having a balance. And that's what you need to make sure you have as well. Because it's really easy to see the money come in and go, this is amazing. I've gone from earning this to this by adding social media. So I can do this client and this client and this client and this client. And before you know it, you've got too many clients and you're just not going to be able to cope with them. And you'll find that you're working more and you'll be very, very stressed. You need to have that balance as well. So this is the great thing. When you get to having those kind of number of clients that you want, you can then start thinking about bringing your own team in to assist you. And then that allows you to grow your business from there as well. The great thing about social media management clients, they're a recurring revenue. So we have got clients that have been with us for since I started 8-9 years ago. That one client, I hear from him at Christmas only. He'll literally message me to wish me a Merry Christmas. If he knew my birthday, I think he'd message me then. But he messaged me just to wish me a Merry Christmas. I don't hear from him. And the reason why I know he's happy is because he pays his invoices every single month. But apart from that, I get people coming to me saying, oh, so-and-so recommended you, so-and-so recommended you. So you will find that people will stay with you long term. If they do leave, you put a month's notice in your contract. So again, you've then got a month to actually then go and replace that client. And the great thing is, if you've got 10 clients, so for example, if you've got 10 clients and you're doing work for them and you're charging them, let's say £300-400 a month, you know that you've got that guaranteed revenue coming in every single month. And most social media management clients will stay with you for 3 to 6 months minimum. If they're going before them, then there's an issue. Okay. And that's something that you just need to tweak and figure out. Sometimes it's a financial thing for them because they start doing social media management and think this is great, but then they realize that they can't afford it. So they'll then just ask to stop. Or like with one of our clients last month, they left us. They'd been with us for quite a long time, but it was okay that they left us because they actually got to a point where we'd helped them so much with their social media, which helped them grow their business, which meant that they could then afford to bring someone in-house. We've trained the in-house person up. Now that the in-house person is trained and certified, they are now taking over the social media. And that's what we love. That's not a thing on us saying, oh my God, we've just lost thousands and thousands of pounds of business. It's actually a nice thing. We love it. But they gave us 3 months notice, which gave us 3 months to actually cover, get a new client in, which we did. And that client started on Monday. So as long as you are ahead of your game, you know exactly where you're coming. So that revenue then starts working for you. Scalability. Oh my God, there is no end to how many clients you can actually look after, because again, you can manage your time, plus you can build your own team that can then manage more clients as well. So you don't have to think small. You can think bigger if you want as well, but you don't have to think big. You can just stay small if you want to. It's a good way, but also it just means that you can offer a different service. So when someone does come to you, and they say, hi, can you do all these VA services for me? Oh, and by the way, I need social media done as well. And you say, oh, well, I can't really do that for you, so I'm going to have to refer you to someone else. At least you can keep everything, because then if you are doing their email marketing for you, if you're doing the social media and the email marketing, you've got content for both. So it's going to help you. It's going to help you save time. You're going to understand their business more as well. So it's a really good way to scale up more around what you're doing with your own business. So what are the essential skills that we need in order to take on the social media management? Well, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to be creating content for your clients. So yes, creating the graphics, putting all the content together. You might want to be doing some video editing as well. Now, don't panic, because there are some amazing tools in place that you can do that can help you really do this easily. But it's understanding what content to put together and understanding how you put those posts together as well. So they don't need to be too long. It's knowing about using the hashtags and also understanding how to use emojis and what kind of post goes on what platform, because they can be slightly different. Where can we use links? Where can we not? How do we draw those call to actions in? So there's little bits and pieces that you need to know when it comes to content creation, but that is the main thing that most clients are going to ask you to do, and they will want you to create the content. There'll be very, very few companies out there that will say, oh, here's my content, can you just put it out for me and make it look pretty? Most of them will come to you because they actually don't want to do it themselves, and they want you to put everything together for them. So understanding platform knowledge. So there are over 100 social media platforms out there. We can't know about all of them, but you need to know the fundamentals about the main ones, which are Facebook, Instagram, Twitter/X, LinkedIn, and TikTok, and possibly YouTube. So these are the ones that your clients are pretty much going to be asking you. Some might be using Snapchat, some might be using Pinterest, others might be on Threads or Clubhouse or Be Real. But these are the fundamental ones that you need to have a good understanding of, so that you can then go in with the confidence, knowing that their profiles are all set up right, and you can put the right content out for them that is going to help grow their business. Because if you help grow their business through social media, they'll stay with you. Okay, if they're not seeing a return on investment, then they won't stay. And that's what you want them to do. It's actually easier to retain a client than go and find a new client. So analytics and reporting, there's lots of tools that we can use in order to feed this back to our clients. One of the things that we have never done is, and this is unusual as an agency, we do not provide any reports at the end of the month or end of the quarter. And I'm very open with my clients. You know, I had one that recently said, oh, can we have a report? I said, we don't do them. And the reason why we don't do them is because you send them over and they're not going to read them. Okay, the social media platforms don't actually offer the reports like they used to. The information is there in front of them, so they can go to business pages, they can go to LinkedIn, and they can see it for themselves. And unfortunately, the social media platforms don't actually give the right information. What we do as an agency, we will go through the content each month. We will look to see what's working. We will look to see what days are best and what times. And we actually don't rely on the social media platforms to give us the reports. We rely on ourselves to do that. And we find that works better. And our clients love us for that. However, there are tools out there that can do that for you if you would prefer to do it. But as I said, you'll send the report to the client will look at it and go, no idea what that means. And they'll then want you to explain it. Whereas if you can explain it in a better way, where you're saying, well, actually, these forms of posts work better than this one, and we did this, so we're going to move things around, and I'm going to do it this way, and I'm going to do it that way, because you're learning and they're learning as well. Engagement. This is another element that you can add onto social media management, where you're helping build those communities for your client. So it might be that you're helping build those connections. It might be that you're interacting with posts, and it also might be that you're actually doing the messaging back as well. This might be something that you're already offering, but again, if this is something you're offering to your clients, it's more than likely that they want their social media done as well. So make sure that you're kind of thinking about whether you want to go into this level. But one thing I will say, whatever you are doing, make sure you have clear boundaries, because one thing you will find, and you mostly get this with all of your clients, you tell them that you are going to do X, Y, Z, and that is what they're paying you for. And then they'll come in and throw in an A, B, C and expect you to do it for free because they're already paying you. So always make sure you have clear guidelines, a contract of work that outlines exactly what you are doing for them, on what platforms, and how much you're doing, so that when these questions do come up, you can go back to them and say, well, as per our contract, this is what we've agreed to do, but if you want me to do this, this will be an extra each month. So always make sure that you do that, because the minute you turn around and say, yeah, that's fine, I'll do that for you now, they'll ask for something else. And that inch has just become a yard. So please, please make sure that you have all these clear things in place. So when we're looking at step by step of offering social media, we need to make sure that we know exactly what we are doing. So we need to identify our niche. Now, when I work with social media specialists and I do the mentoring, a lot of social media management or specialists, they want to actually have a niche. So they'll work within the health industry, or they might look at accountants, or they might look at hairdressers. That's completely fine. Okay, it's okay to work with whoever you like. But what I will say is, if you niche, you're only going to target a small amount of audience. So if you do want to have an array of different clients, that's perfectly fine as well. We don't niche. We look after absolutely everything, everybody from accountants through to coaches to restaurants. We even look after a sex toy company. Okay, we look after murder mystery. We look after so many different kind of ranges of companies. We want to make sure that we are open really to anybody, because that's what we love. It keeps it interesting. One of the things that I do with all of my team, so for example, if one of my team looks after a cleaner and we've got 3 cleaners, they won't look after the other 2. Okay, they will always just look after one. And the reason why I do that is because I don't want them getting complacent. So this is something to think about if you do expand your team, because you don't want that person putting stuff out for one cleaning company and just going, oh, do you know what? I can just copy it and do it for the others. You want to make sure that every single client is getting that personalized service, because again, if they're all 3 kind of go, hold on a minute, we've all got the same content, but it's branded very differently, they're kind of going to be going, what's going on here? Okay, so you want to make sure. So that's one of the things that I do with all of my team. You need to make sure you're building a portfolio. So if you don't do social media management at the moment and it's something you're thinking about, start creating a portfolio. So go out and create some sample posts. Ask a couple of your clients that you're working for at the moment if it would be okay to create, let's say, 7 days or 2 weeks worth of content for them, where you can put the content, you can put the images, and then just ask for a testimonial in return. Because this way you can then, when people ask you for a proposal, and then you send the proposal over around what you're going to be doing and what you're charging, you can then put your portfolio attached as well. And this works massively for us, because when we share the grids of our clients from Instagram, when we share accounts, when we share types of work that we're doing, people see how slick the grids look, and then they go, do you know what, that's what I want mine to look like, and then they sign up with us, no question asked. And normally what happens is when we send proposals out, they've normally asked for 2 or 3 more as well. So it's making sure you're one step ahead of the game as well. And we love doing this. So the client that we took on this week, we've just taken over from another company. Yeah, bit of a nightmare. We're having to kind of rectify and make things, but I love stuff like that, because we can now make sure that we make it look good, and the client's going to see that we're making it look good. And they have already. We're only 4 days in, and they're saying they're loving what we're putting out, because it's slick and they can see that as well. So you need to set up your services. So packages work the best way. So it's best to put packages in place. Now we have 3 different packages. We have a high level, mid level and low level. We tend to find that a majority of our clients go for low or mid, and we've got a few that are bespoke as well. So we do work on retainer. So the client pays us a retainer each month, and then we will do so much work within that retainer. But make sure you are putting your packages and your pricing in line with the scope of work that you are doing. If you are getting on calls with people and they want to discuss social media management with you, and they then say, oh, how much is that going to cost me? You need to stop, pause, and say to them, from everything that I've taken from you today, I'm going to go away and put a proposal together, and I'm going to get that over to you within 20 to 48 hours. And in there will be the price and the packages that I offer. One thing you don't do at this point is offer them a price there and then, because the conversation that you have had, they may have easily just turned around and said, oh, I just want 3 posts a week on Facebook and Instagram. That's easy. You can turn around and give them a package. However, if they've turned around and said they want this, puts you on the spot. You might not be comfortable talking about pricing. You might just blurt out a figure, and then when you actually sit down and work it out, you look, oh my God, I'm not charging what I should be charging per hour. I've actually got too much work here. You can't go back to them and say, I'm really sorry, I got the price wrong, because they're not going to come to you. So make sure you never talk about pricing when you're on the phone. It does take a little bit of time getting used to, but once you get into a habit of it, make sure you always push them to say, I will get everything in a proposal, and I'll get that proposal over to you, and give them a time frame. Please stick within the time frames as well. If it's early, fantastic. But if you've told them 48 hours and you don't send it for a week, then you're not going to get the business, because if they can't be reliant on you there and then, they're not going to trust you when it comes to the work. So I always look at my diary to see what's going to go on. I had a discovery call this morning with someone, and I said to them that I'd have the proposal over to them by Tuesday, because I've got a busy day today, busy day tomorrow. I'm out all weekend, so I can sit down on Monday or Tuesday morning and get it done. Okay, so make sure that you are always being good to yourself as well. Don't panic yourself with getting proposals over. I know some companies that I've spoken to that where I've asked for quotes and proposals, and I've had to wait 3 or 4 weeks for them. So make sure that you do give yourself time, but don't put long time on them. If you can get them done straight away, fantastic, because it just gets it out of the way then. And have a template of a proposal. So all you've got to do is put the client's name in, and you can send it off to them as well. Make sure you're marketing yourself as well. Make sure you're telling people that you're now offering social media management, because it helps you grow your portfolio. It's not just for people that you are connected with. They may recommend you to other people as well. So make sure that you are marketing that. If you're on online groups, make sure you promote it in there. And if you go to face-to-face networking, mention it in that as well. And also make sure that you provide a high quality service, because if you are offering social media management, it's more than likely you are going to be up against a social media specialist or an agency. So you want to make sure that you are offering the same standard, if not higher. Okay, because people will be looking for high quality when it comes to their social media. Also, make sure that you're giving them feedback and keep in contact. So we have WhatsApp groups with all of our clients. And in that WhatsApp group will be the client, my team, whoever's looking after them, and me. And every single week I reach out to all of them and say, hi, how are things going? Because they become friends then. And you build these relationships and you get to know them a lot better, which means that you can offer a better service as well, because you can bring that personal aspect into their social media as well, which is what people love. So don't be afraid to kind of being more personal with your clients as well, to a certain level. Okay, right, okie dokie. So when it comes to pricing, what do we do? There's different ways that we can do this. So you could offer an hourly rate. So as I said before, if you are a social media specialist, you can charge at least £50 an hour. If you're an accredited certified social media manager, you can charge more. And also that's a good way to kind of start. So I always say to people, when you're putting your packages together, think about how many hours that work is going to take you over the month, and then you can build your packages in from there as well. So a monthly retainer is the best way, because then you know that you're going to get that guaranteed package, that money in each month. So if you've got a client and they want you to do their social media, offer them a package. It might be that you say to them, right, well, I can do all your social media and your email marketing, and this is what it's going to cost you. But make sure you follow them up, because by following them up, you can then say to them, hi, did you get my proposal? Have you had any thoughts? Some of them will come back and go, yeah, that's great. Can we get started? Others will come back and go, oh, it's a little bit out of my budget. Okay, what is your budget? Maybe we can put something together that's going to suit a budget. If they come back and say, oh, £150, you need to then back off and go, well, actually, there isn't much I can do, because you need to make sure that your client's having at least 3 posts a week on one platform. If it's any less than that, you're not doing them the you're not doing them the service. And also what will happen is they won't get any return on what you're doing for them, and it will be very short-lived. Okay, and it will cause an issue with the relationship. So make sure that you are doing the work that you need to do. A social media package just doing 1 post a week is not going to get them anything. Okay. Project based. So this might be something where the client comes and says, well, actually, we've just had somebody come to us and say, I'm off for the whole of the summer. Can you just do 6 weeks for me? But what I would like is then to be able to use it in September and October, because I'm quite busy. So can you basically just create me 20 posts with 20 graphics that I can schedule myself over the summer and then reuse them in September and October? So that's what we've done. So that project was very bespoke. But again, we worked on the hourly rate of how long it's going to take us to create those 20 posts and those 20 graphics. And that's what we've given them as well. All right. So what tools can you be using to help you do all of this? So you may have come across some of these because of what you already do, but there's lots of social media scheduling tools out there. All the platforms have them all built in now as well. So you've got things like Hootsuite, Buffer, and Later. They'll do the scheduling for you, but you will have to pay. Okay, unfortunately, when you get to this level, you can't do things for free. You can't use the free service because you are going to be finding that you're going to be doing more social media scheduling. So you are going to have to pay. I pay hundreds of pounds every single month, but it's worth it. We don't use any of these actually, and I need to get this screen updated. We use one called Simplified. The reason I use Simplified, I've used them for 5-6 years now, and I love their customer service. Absolutely love it. In fact, we had an issue with something last week. I basically got on the chat. I explained what the issue was. It was resolved within 3 minutes. Now, I can guarantee you that the ones that are there in the list, they won't have a customer service like that. It will be a case of you have to email them and they'll come back to you within 48 hours. And that's really important for me. When I've got a team of 8 looking after, 50 accounts, I want to make sure that we have got access to someone very, very quickly. Because if someone's social media goes down, or we can't do something straight away, or we can't work, I want to make sure it's rectified within minutes, not hours, okay? Because time is money, and I don't want to be losing money as a business. And also, I don't want my team sitting around thinking that they can't do the work. The other tools that you can use to design in graphics are Canva and Adobe as well. Canva is our go-to. We've been using Canva for years. I think I've just had my thing come up that's saying my 5th anniversary, and it tells me each month how many designs we've used as well. You can't get away with the free version. You are going to have to sign up for the pro, but it will be worth it. It's 11 quid a month or 100 quid for the year. You get 12 months for the price of 10. But don't forget that you're going to be earning this additional income. So you are going to have these additional costs as well. But anybody that uses Canva knows how easy it is and good it is as well, because you can go in. So for example, we've got a construction company. So if we need graphics for a construction company, we'll go in and go social media post for construction, and it will just bring us up lots of templates. We can go in, change the fonts, change the branding, add in our own photos, and we're done. It's as easy as that. We haven't got to sit there designing everything and illustrating everything. It can be done within a couple of minutes. Analytic tools, as I said before, all the social media platforms have them, but most scheduling tools will have report systems on them as well that are built in. And then for content creation, you've got ChatGPT, Jasper. There's lots of AI tools out there. Our go-to is ChatGPT. We pay for that. So we pay $20 a month for 4.0. We're on the waiting list for 5.0. And the reason why I pay for it is because we create a lot of graphics on AI as well for our clients. The murder mystery company that we look after, we create all their graphics through there as well, because they have a certain theme and the AI allows us to do that. It also saves the client money, because we actually said to the company, we need new graphics for your social media. Have you got any? No, but I could get a photographer, and then I could get some actors, and we could get them to kind of do this. And I said, I could just create them on AI for you. Shall we do that? Yes, I actually saved them thousands of pounds, and they actually love the graphics that they have. So always be open to giving your clients suggestions of how you can help and support them as well. So if you are using AI to create content, make sure you do not copy and paste and use what's just been given to you. It can be very Americanized. It can be very much like attention business owners, attention hairdressers. And if your client sees that you are using AI to create their content, they will stop using you, because they will go, why am I paying you this when I can do this myself? Okay, because that's all you're doing. Use it to support you rather than doing the work for you. So we need to, by now you should have a really good understanding of how you can introduce social media management into your business and how it can boost everything for you as well. And all the skills that you kind of need to make sure that you've got, and also all the kind of tools that you're going to need as well to help you do that. But it's not about tools that you need, it's tools that are going to help you do this really easily, so then you're not kind of panicking and thinking, oh, I need to do this or I need to do that. But also think about the growth that you can have in your business as well. So where are we now? So I've mentioned before about being certified and accredited, and why this is kind of another element that you can have, and why a lot of social media people and other businesses are actually going this way. So the social media world, especially when it comes to managers and and specialists, unfortunately, is not regulated. There are people out there that will put a post out, they get a lot of interaction, and they call themselves social media. They then go and offer them services. The service is poor. It then gives us a bad name for the ones that are doing it really, really well. So this is why I've introduced the Accredited Academy, which means that everybody that comes through the Academy becomes certified, because it means that you have followed all the steps of knowing how to use all the platforms, how to use all the tools, how to set up your business, how to create the content, and how to do things in the right way. And more businesses now are actually looking at providers that are certified and accredited. One of the other things is it means that you can charge more and earn more. But the other thing is as well, if you're looking to go into corporate, a lot of corporate companies will only work with certified and accredited specialists or freelancers as well. So this is everybody that is in my team is accredited and certified. They've come through my academy. I don't work with anybody unless they've come through it, because it's my way of learning and how I teach and how we put social media out. So do think about something like this as well if you do want to kind of go out there, because it will make you stand out from the crowd, and make sure that people, because it's one of those things where people go, do you know what, you've taken that time to invest in you, in your business, and actually you've learned something as well, and you know how to do it in the right way. So as I said before, it gives you that credibility and trust. It gives you that stand out from the crowd with your competition. It allows you to earn more as well, because you can charge more per hour, and also opens the doors to lots and lots of different opportunities, especially on the corporate side as well, because corporate will pay more as well. So you know when you're looking at SMEs, when you're looking at your packages, they will be one price, but when you look at corporates, they will be a different price, because they will pay more. And that's just how it is. You know, that's not you trying to, you know, rip someone off or charge more because of where they are in the you know, the pecking order of a business. It is just the way it is. So to give you an example, if I do a training session with an SME, I charge £249 an hour. If I work with a corporate company and I do a 2 hours training session with them, I charge £1,000 plus VAT. And I get paid to do that as well. The corporates pay it all day long because they see the value, whereas a small business hasn't got the budget to be spending £1,000 plus VAT, because it's more likely they're not even VAT registered anyway. So by being, you know, accredited, it opens the door to the corporates, which means that you can charge more and work less as well. So one of the other things that we've done, and this is something I'd like you to share with people if you do know of anybody, the Academy is going to have a foundation created over the next month, and this is supporting parents that have got children with special needs and complex issues, so SEN. And this is something very dear to my heart, having a child with very, very complex issues and SEN issues, and also a child with ADHD. I know how hard it is for us as parents to get a full-time job anyway, because children in themselves need a full-time VA with all the stuff that they need doing. But when you have a child with special needs, you've got hospital appointments, school meetings, forms that need filling out. These things here, right? This is my job today. I've got to ring this hospital for this appointment. I've got 2 notes to ring school. I've got another hospital appointment, and I've got another.
I'm on mute.
Sorry. And I've got another doctor's. That's just for today. So if I had a full-time job, I couldn't do that. So this is why I've created the Academy and the foundation. So what we will be doing with the foundation is we're on a mission to financially support any parents that have children with special needs and complex issues, to help them fund the Academy so that they can learn and train and become a certified social media specialist, so that they can start their own business and build a business that they can fit around their children, their families, and all of these appointments that they need to sort out as well. They're going to learn a skill. They're going to become part of a community as well, because being a SEN parent is really lonely. And as I said, a lot of my community, a lot of people that come through, funny enough, are parents with children with special needs. And it's just how we can kind of help that community as well. So there is an application process, but once we've launched the foundation, which hopefully will be over the next 4 weeks, that will become more clear as well. So if you do know anyone, please feel free to share it with them as well. So thank you so much for listening to me. If you are interested in the certification and accredited academy, there is a special launch price. We launched yesterday. It's a self-study. It takes you through 10 steps on how to go from here to here. Here's basically you becoming a certified social media specialist. Everything included is all the training on all the social media platforms, all the resources, everything that you need. It's like a business in a box, but it doesn't stop there. You get your terms and conditions included, you get NDAs included, you get your contract of work, you get your proposals. Oh my God, you get step-by-step guides, you get Facebook ads training, Canva training, AI training. There's talks in there from expert speakers within the industry that are, you know, really well thought of. It's endless. There's about 100 different trainings and resources that are going to help you. And we launched yesterday because as of yesterday, this is now a self-study that's online that people can work through at their own pace, and then we'll get the accreditation at the end. It's been launched at 50% off, so it's currently $497. You can buy it in there's three different payment methods. One payment, you can pay it in 2, or you can pay it in 3. The QR code there is where you can sign up and get started. If anyone's got any questions, you're more than welcome to ask away. That's what I'm here for. This isn't a sales pitch. This is just to kind of show you, if you do want to kind of do something that's going to help you, jump in on this offer, because it's going to go up in price at the end of the month, and it won't be this price again. This is just literally for you guys with the launch offer from there. So if you have any questions, I'm open for questions.
Everyone's gone quiet now. You always find this, don't you? No one's got a question to start with, and then everybody starts chiming in. That's fantastic, Sam. Thanks so much.
Oh, you're welcome. I've done my job well. I always say, if nobody's got any questions, I've done a good job. And
They will have questions. They're just getting braver about it. It's my experience.
No worries, no worries.
Anyone going to be brave and ask a question? What I'd be interested to know is how do you find your clients? Where do you find the best place to find your clients?
So I'll be completely honest with you, ours all come from word of mouth now, recommendations. But when I first started, it was networking. So we get a lot of clients come through us from networking. We have a Facebook page, and we also promote in Facebook groups as well, that we're doing that from there. But yeah, we do have, and my website, I have to say, I get a lot of inquiries through the website.
Do you? That's great.
Massive amount. So we get inquiries every single day. And this is the other thing as well. People often think that, oh, there's not enough business for me. If you think to yourself, you only need a maximum of 10 small businesses to do their social media, you've mostly got 10 small businesses within a 20-minute radius of you that you could reach out to. You know, one of the other things that we do as well is, you know, the free magazines that come through the door, that plumbers and builders, we contact them and ask them. I mean, I've got a sales team, so I do get the sales team, but again, you've only got to there's email addresses in there or websites. You've only got to drop them an email to ask the question, because half the time I can guarantee you that those companies have got their wives doing the social media, because the wives do the admin, and they hate it. They absolutely hate it. And we've got quite a few plumbers, kitchen fitters that just have a very basic package with us, where we just share before and after, and the wives love that we've come on, because they're like, I'd prefer him to pay you to do it, because I hate doing it.
Yeah. I do have quite a few questions, but Caroline's got one, so I'll let you go next.
Hi there. It's been very informative, thank you. You mentioned before that a lot of people that you work with don't have private personal social media as well. Is that important, do you think? Do you do people's private stuff as well then, or is it just the business?
Yeah, we do private. So we take on a lot of the bit. One of the things that we do I'll give you an example. So we had a client come to us, and she had a Facebook page, Instagram, and we looked at her Facebook page, and it just wasn't doing anything. And I said, look, have you ever thought about actually doing this through your personal profile? And she's like, oh, well, I was told by someone else that you can't do that on Facebook. And this is the thing that frustrates me, is because people are giving, people in my industry are giving people the wrong information. And you can, and Facebook have just introduced professional mode, which means that you can use your personal profile as a business page. So we took on her social media in February, and we started doing everything through her personal profile as well as the business page. And honestly, it's taken off massively for her. She cannot believe, because she's got more control over it. So we do look after a lot of personal accounts as well, especially when it comes to coaches and people in the online space as well.
It's interesting. I need to look at that professional mode then.
Yes, professional mode allows you to run ads from a personal profile. It will give you insights. It will also allow you to use the link in stories as well, which is great, because if you're putting a story on and you want to advertise something, at least you know you can put a link. You don't have to worry about all this 10,000 followers and stuff like that.
When you talk about packages, what I see out there is things like one channel, 3 posts a week. Is that how you'd package things up, or 2 channels, 3 posts a week, or that type of thing?
Yeah, we tend to do 2 channels minimum, and then 3 posts a week minimum. And the reason why we do that is because then it means that, because to be fair, if you're putting a Facebook post out and you're putting an Instagram post out, it's not going to be that much more work for you. Okay,
No.
you might have to tweak it slightly, you might have to tweak the graphics slightly, but when you're offering 2, you know, and 3 posts, the client just then kind of goes, oh, do you know what? That sounds like a great idea, because you will find that most businesses are on at least 2 platforms anyway. So what we do is we offer a 2 platform, 3 posts. We do 3 platform with 3 to 5 posts, and then we do an all-in. Our all-in package is 3 platforms, 5 posts a week, email marketing, and then we do like engagement and stuff like that as well.
Interesting. And let's just say we're talking about that first package, you know, 3 posts a week on 2 platforms. How would I, as a business owner, expect to see a return on investment? How can that be measured?
So what we say is you need to give we get clients that say to us, oh, can you just do, well, we get people that come to me and say, can you just do social media for me for a month? I always ask the question, what's going to happen after that month? And they're like, well, I don't know. It's like, well, it's not going to work, because you need at least 6 weeks before the footprint of social media will start talking to the footprint on SEO, like on Google or any search engine. So I always say to people, the minimum we do is 3 months. Okay, we will always say you need to give it 3 months before you start to see a return on investment, because the problem is we need to make sure, especially if you're only doing 3 posts a week. And what we try and do, one of the reasons we have a WhatsApp group with our clients, if we're doing 3 posts a week, we try and encourage our client to do the other 2. So we're often say to them, look, can you put out something? Have you got, like, you guys, so if I give you an example, we've got a client where we do 3 posts a week for them. Then what we do is we give them ideas for the other 2. So last week we said to them, can you just do me a favor? Just take a picture of the kitchen where you're all having a coffee break. Or could you just take a quick video of, and then just put it out? So we kind of guide the clients into what we're doing, because what we then do complements what they do. And then they kind of go, do you know what? That's actually quite easy for me to do. I can cope with that, because they then see you as this, you know, this benefit to their business. So then one of the things is then they always rely on you. They always need you in your business. So by you offering that, just that little bit more support, where you're saying, well, actually, this would be a really good idea, or could we have this information? You've got to make sure that they get to the point where they rely on you. So then what happens is, because you're communicating with them on a regular basis, and you're putting the content out and they're working with you. So we'll often say to our clients, right, can you make sure you're doing like 10 connections today, or this week, can you make sure you're doing that? We're helping them grow. And we're not, and then what then happens is, because we're helping them grow their connections and their interactions and everything else, what we do then starts to see results. But we always make sure we use call to actions. So is there a web link? Are they asking questions? We always make sure there's one or another call to action. And also, when we're doing like the 3 posts a week, we're normally promoting something like an event or a launch or something like that. So we can always see the return on that. So we'll say to the client, okay, how many people do you want signing up on that? And then we make sure we check in. How many have you got now? How many more do you need? So it's looking at that, but it's becoming that part of their team that they can't be without. And that's what you've got to create.
Yeah, very, very true. Julie, you got a question?
Yes, hi Sam.
Hi.
That was really interesting, thank you. Quick question, I guess, based on geography. I'm not based in the UK, as I'm based in France. And I guess question that's going through my head is how I wouldn't want to offer this sort of service in French, for example, because my French isn't that good. But in terms of potential clients, is it something that you think is relatively easy to do, maybe for UK-based clients, but being abroad, if you like?
Definitely. And we've got clients in the UK, we've got clients in America, Dubai, Australia, and in South Africa as well. So it doesn't matter. And that's the great thing about this business, because it is online, they don't need to know where you're based. As long as you speak the same language as them, then you're
Yes.
perfectly fine. It really is. And I think once they see that you're kind of, you know, you're putting out the work for them and they're really happy, they won't care where you live. They really won't.
Yeah.
I think as long as you haven't got that language barrier,
Yeah.
that's the main thing. So if you're working with an English, if you're English, then I would suggest sticking with the English. The
Yeah.
American market is brilliant. I mean, going to be completely honest with you, ladies, if you can crack the American market, do not be charging £50 an hour. Okay, so we charge we charge so much more for the Americans. Okay, we do because you can, and
Does
it's
that count for the Canadians too?
Oh.
got a Canadian. So it's amazing what you can get away with. So always find out where your client is based.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is as well, what you do have to take into consideration is also how they're going to pay you, and also if you're going to be charged any fees as well. So that's one of the things that we always so I'm VAT registered. So if I'm working with a company, of course, abroad, they don't have to pay the VAT, which means I don't have to pay the VAT, which is brilliant. But what I do have to take into consideration is that when they are transferring the monies over, I will have a bigger fee to pay.
Yeah, that's true.
Take that into account as well.
I think just
Right.
to add to that, Sam, I think that obviously being a VA is lends itself very well to being a digital nomad, and you can be basically so many people I know travel the world and work from their motorhome or whatever. But I think social media lends itself particularly well because there's no time constraints. You know, there's no being available in the UK 9 to 5 that's important. So I think it really lends itself to digital nomads.
It does, and that's one of the other things. So my team all work very, very different hours. So I've got one lady that only works a Tuesday. I've got some that only work weekends. I've got another one that only works the evenings because she's got a 2-year-old. So she can't work during the day because if she works during the day, she's not spending time with him. And the whole point of her not for working for herself is to spend time with her 2-year-old. So this is the thing. This is the nice flexibility. The client is never going to say to you, oh, why has this not been? As long as you're doing the work, they don't care when you do it. They really don't, as long as it's going out. And what we tend to do with all of our clients is we'll either do a block of like a week's worth of content, get that out, or we might do 2 weeks. But for example, with the summer holidays coming up, a lot of my team are going away, but I don't need to worry about that because what the team will do is they'll liaise with their client and just basically say, hi, I'm going to be off for these 2 weeks. So I'm going to get all your social media done before I go away. Is there anything in particular that we need to do? But the rest of the team pull in just in case there are any issues or I'm on hand. So it's just, and that's what I love about it. You can then actually go away and think, right, okay, I can do work while I'm away, but if I don't want to, I can get it all done beforehand. We have got a couple of clients where we do a complete month, and then we just schedule all of that because they don't have any input. We do everything, but most of our clients we kind of work in segments of a week at a time or 2 weeks max.
Interesting. I should probably talk to you about your students coming out and to have certified social media people on my team. Because that's the thing, I don't know enough about it in order to bring on people with the sufficient skills. It's really hard to know these days, and a lot of people, you get anything from me who just about gets away with putting stuff on Facebook and LinkedIn for myself, right through to people who do it for themselves but are prolific, and then there's the next level of people who love social media, are prolific but also understand things like the algorithms and what works.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. And this is what I love about the community that I have, because it's about keeping people up to speed with things. Like, for example, there's been a massive glitch with Facebook at the moment where it's actually telling people that they can't post and their accounts have been locked. It's actually just a glitch. There's a glitch on Instagram this morning where it's not actually showing the real counts, and people are panicking, thinking, oh, what's going on? But then I relay that back to my community, and then my community can relay it back to their clients. But it just means also that they haven't got to spend hours. They can if they want, but I just love it. You know, I'm always keeping up to date because I need to let my clients know. I need to let my team know. So I've created this community that is just there to know exactly what's going on, and that's what I love. But the nice thing is about it as well, and please excuse my French here, we've got no dicks in the community, so everybody's really supportive. So the reason I started the community was because when I was in groups like social media manager groups, people would be putting things out like, oh, hi, could someone tell me how to do this? And then people were like, how can you call yourself a social media manager if you don't know how to do that? And I'm like, whoa, hold on a minute. People need to start from somewhere, and you don't get a guide, to say this is how you do this. It was but people are made to feel really small and, like they're idiots, and they're not. They're just asking the questions. So I don't have any of that. I make sure that everybody is supportive, and if I ever did, they'll be out, because that's not what I'm here to create.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's so helpful. Anybody else got any questions? No.
If you have, or you think about anything later, or you get stuck, or you want to, or what about this, Sam? Feel free to come and find me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and just message me. I'm very, very open. I get hundreds of messages throughout the week of people just asking me very, very random stuff. It's not a problem at all.
Bless you. Very kind. Well, I think your course sounds amazing, and it's a very, very good rate, very good fee. So it's a no-brainer if you're interested in social media.
I've been told off by a lot of people because I think a course like that, they're not, I think on the CBD, on the framework itself, they start at like £3,000. But when you actually look online and you see other people doing social media manager courses, they're charging anything from £3,500 to £5,000. And that's okay, but that doesn't sit right with me. I've created a program that I want accessible to absolutely everybody. So I think, the price even when it goes up to full price, which is going to be £997, still going to be a steal. But the thing is, if you can get it for half price now, you might as well. There's no time scale on it either, because you work through it at your own pace. If you want to do it in 2 weeks, you can. I've just had someone do it in 2 weeks. If you want to do it in 6 months, you can do it in 6 months. And the other thing, you get lifetime access to it as well. So if you want to go back and refresh, someone that did it last year has just come back in and basically refreshed with a few things. But also the other thing is, if we update anything, so for example, if something changes, we update it and you get that update as well. So we also make sure that you don't have to kind of buy it again to get updates or anything like that. So it's about, and it's access into the community as well, which is great.
I think it's great. I think if you're interested, you'd be wise to grab it at the price it is, even if you haven't got time to do it for 6 months, because if it's got lifetime access, it's got lifetime access.
Yeah, it is. It's great. It's lovely. It's good. I'm going to say that, aren't I? But it's going to be it's gone through beta testing. We've looked at it. I've put my heart and soul into this program, because it means it's not just about the program, it's about the foundation and the legacy that it's going to create as well. And that's what's important to me. And it's making sure that social media specialists are being trained in the right way, and they're not going out there going, I've just done this course but still don't know what I'm doing, and they're making mistakes. I saw someone yesterday, a Facebook ad, where she's doing a post every single day on one platform. She's charging £99 a month, and I've messaged her and said, how are you doing that to yourself? Because even if you've got 10 clients, you're earning yourself £1,000 a month, and you're working at least 10 hours, 15 hours a week. That's just not right. And I'm having, I've been open with her, and I've said, please don't think I'm being rude, but as an expert, I just can't let you do this. Whoever's told you that this is acceptable. And also the other thing is as well, people won't think that they're getting quality. So she'll get really crap clients from charging £100 just for all of that work. So again, someone's educated her into doing that. And it's, you know, I feel that I just need to kind of change the way that the system is, and until, well, I don't think it will ever be regulated, but you know, one day it may be, but until then, I've got to do what I can to make sure that people are learning the right things and getting the right support.
Yeah, too right. Caroline's just asked for the link again, but I can always, if you can either pop it in, but I can always I'll send it out with the replay as well anyway.
Send the replay. Oh, you've got the link. Hold on a sec. I'll put it in the chat so that you've got it. Where's the chat gone? I can't see the chat. Let me have a look. Here we go. Here's the link. There we go. All right, there's your link that you have from there. So
I'll grab it as well, and then I'll send it out with the chat as well, the replay. All right, well, I've kept you long enough. I could talk to you all day about this because it really isn't something I know loads about. So it's been fascinating. Thank you. Thanks everyone for turning up today live and for your time, and for those that take the time to watch it on replay. And yeah, I'll catch up soon with you, Sam. We'll have to book a call in.
Yeah, definitely. Or lunch. I think lunch is deserved, not a call. We'll have to do lunch.
That'll be. Oh, in fact, I'm seeing you at Hayley's, aren't I?
We are. Yes, we're together next Friday.
Yeah, I'll see you then. All right.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.